It's the Daily Doug.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being with me today. My friends, it's the beginning of another week. It's a Metal Monday, and today I'm making it a Metallica Monday, and I am pumped that you are here. I have reviewed many Metallica songs over the life of the channel, but not as many lately. Just this year, I've only done 3, and we're practically to August, right? So we did the Unforgiven trilogy back in late January. We took a look at Whiskey in the Jar on our St. Patrick's Day extraordinaire. That was fun. And then last month we did take a look at Anesthesia Pulling Teeth and got to revel in the awesome bass work of Cliff Burton. That was wonderful. But today I'm going to take a look at the Outlaw Torn. This comes to us very highly recommended. It's the final song from Load, their 6th studio album, which was released in 1996. Load is Metallica's longest studio album, and The Outlaw Torn is the longest song on the album, clocking in at a little over 9 minutes. And the cool thing that I learned about it is that the song itself had to be shortened by about a minute so that the entire album could fit on a CD. I haven't thought about CDs in a while. With this album, the band was exploring a more hard rock style as opposed to their thrash metal sound that they had been accustomed to performing. A bit more bluesy in the guitars than what they would normally write and perform. And so with this one, I'm going to be taking a look not at the one from the studio, but the live version of this performed with the San Francisco Symphony back in 1999, the first S&M concert. Which I am familiar with. I have previously, from this concert, heard and reacted to their presentation of Master of Puppets and of One, and I remember enjoying those very much. We've got James Hetfield on vocals and guitars. Kirk Hammett is also on guitars. Jason Newsted is on the bass, and Lars is on the drums. And of course, they're with the San Francisco Symphony, one of the premier symphonic ensembles in the world, friends, and their hometown symphony, and it's really cool that the symphony there in San Francisco performs with them, and they've done it a couple times, and it's quite awesome. Leading the symphony is Michael Kamen, vaunted orchestral arranger, who is kind of like the rock and roll and orchestra whisperer, and helps these two different types of ensembles talk to each other and perform together. He also serves as our conductor today. So let's get it, y'all. Let's take a look at the Outlaw Torn from the S&M 1 concert from Metallica. Off we go. Boy, that's chuggy. Chug, 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 chug. Dum, 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 dum. Are they doing a half step? Because I thought they would sounded like they were tuned down, but that sounded like... Yeah, there they are. E flat. Listen to how he's got that brass just giving you pedal orchestration, just heroic sounds from the orchestra. So it's relatively easier for the band because they're tuned down to E flat, but I'm guaranteeing you that the orchestra strings are not tuned down. Nice bass work. slow slower than I expected, actually. Lovely fourths in the orchestra. That sounds like fun. Down to 4. Back to 1. It's kind of bluesy, isn't it? 5 to 4 to 1. There's subtonic. Beautiful note from James there. It's a G flat. Third of the key. Yeah, G flat. So I wait my whole lifetime for you. Some of Michael's magic in the strings. Added stuff, I'm sure.
The more I search, the more my need for you.
I love how they're out of the way of his vocals too. The more I search, the more my need for you. The more I bless, the more I bleed for you. That's a great note for him. How it's just growing and growing. We're in the bridge here. Yeah, that was 7th of that chord to the first note. I want to play along, but I'm not sure what's happening next. I think it's going to be a guitar solo. James is playing? Love how the strings are out of their way, just kind of doing this orchestration that fits in with the band instead of trying to double them or copy what they're doing. There's yeah, there's a 4. Straight kind of pentatonic minor and E flat. close my mind in fear, please pry it open. If my face becomes sincere, beware that when I start to come undone, stitch me together. Wow, it's a prayer. And when you see me strut, remind me of what is left of this outlaw torn. He's calling himself an outlaw, and he's recognizing that his personality, his sense of self has been ripped somehow. Hear a little bit of the percussion, pitch percussion in the background. E flat, E natural, F, G flat. They're going up by half steps. That's righteous. Just spanning an E flat to a G flat, just the minor third of the sustaining chord. So the effect is a sustaining, a prolongation of that E flat, but they're doing rising half steps in the bass down there. The stuff up top was still in the same key. Check that song out. Yeah. Remarkable. I think the entire concert of this is on YouTube. That'd be a fun long listen, wouldn't it? Maybe someday, but not today. Wow. I am enthralled every time I see and hear a really good rock band, metal band, playing with a really good orchestra. And like I said, Michael Kamen cannot be more appreciated, or that's a weird way of saying it, but he's integral, is what I'm trying to say, to this process. His orchestrations allow the band to just play what they know, and it allows the orchestra members to play stuff that works for their instruments, and they don't have to worry about as much of how it fits into what the band's doing or what. They know, because they trust the arranger, that the stuff that's been written for them, they can play, and they can interpret what they see on their sheet music and be confident that what they're going to do is going to fit into the whole, and everybody's playing at top level, and we get a performance like that. It's really cool, y'all. I love it. I've loved every time that I've heard big orchestras alongside these bands, especially like last week, right? We heard Octavarium by Dream Theater with the big orchestra, and that I had to recuperate all weekend after hearing that. Let me talk about the lyrics a little bit. James has remarked on his lyrics to this song by saying that the song is about losing someone to death and longing to find a replacement that never comes. That's a point of view that I know many of us, if not all of us, understand. We've all lost somebody that's special to us. As I read in, the lyrical themes throughout the album, on this particular album, seem to be more centered on personal issues and emotional issues from within, instead of looking on society and talking about, societal issues or politically charged issues that, as I'm thinking about some of their classic songs. Perhaps here, James is writing about Cliff Burton. I don't know. He may be writing about somebody in his own family, but either way, I'm sure that Cliff was like family. And there's this need of trying to reconcile, I guess, the need to remember your friend or your bandmate. There's a need in your heart to remember and cherish that friendship and that connection. But there's also a need to move on and make room in your heart for other important relationships and friendships and collaborations and all that sort of stuff as they present themselves in your life. If you're too stuck on trying to protect what has happened in the past, then you might be, not ready to accept someone or to open up and move on with your life. That's really a deep tune, and it reminds me. I don't think I know any song on this album. I'm looking at the track list. I don't think I've listened to anything from this album before. Now I've listened to this one, and I haven't even heard the studio cut from this one. So maybe that'll be something I can take a look at later on. I really enjoyed the bluesy aspect of that, and of course the orchestra was just all over it. Well, that's a great way to start the week, friends. Metallica on a Metallica Monday. This has been the Outlaw Torn with the orchestra, and I know that we can face the week ahead of us now. We've had our fix. This has been a good time. Thanks, friends, for joining me, and we will see you next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.